So if one of the commissioners amongst yourselves, would you put a motion on the table to elect a temporary chair?
I motion that we elect Bradley the temporary chair.
Okay. Who seconds that motion? That was motion by Commissioner Martin.
I second it.
Okay, the motion was second by Commissioner Patrick. Mhm. Okay. I'm going to do a roll call. Commissioner Martin?
Aye.
You will say aye or nay.
I did.
Commissioner.
Aye.
Okay. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Commissioner
Okay.
Brown?
Aye.
Commissioner Patrick?
Aye.
Commissioner Ed Bradley?
Aye.
Okay. The commissioners has elected to elect Ed Bradley as a temporary chair to chair this meeting. So I will yield the floor to Commissioner Bradley.
Thanks everyone for attending, and thank you for your vote of confidence temporarily. So we will go right into discussion of roles and responsibilities of the commissioners. We'll just go into it lightly. We won't go into it too deeply at this time until we've had a little bit of training and have met and discussed some things. Did anyone have anything they want to say in regards to the responsibility of the commissioners at this time? Okay, so at this time, some of our main duties would be to properly vet candidates for hiring, and also to deal with disciplinary matters. Those are two of the main functions. There are other functions, but I just want to note those two functions at this time. Did anyone have anything else they want to bring up in regards to our responsibilities? Okay, then we will move on to number 3. The discussion or action regarding pending of hiring new firefighters or police officers. Is that okay, Jacilia?
What I do want to have you go back up to the election of officers.
Okay.
We do need to put on a motion on the floor for the vice chair and the secretary.
Oh, okay, very well. Well, let's
amongst the commissioners.
Yeah, we need to nominate someone for a vice chairperson first. So I would like to nominate Mr. Martin for a vice chairperson.
Okay. Okay. Commissioner Bradley put that motion on the floor. Who would second that motion?
Commissioner Patrick, second that motion.
Okay. Okay, I will do a roll call. Commissioner Martin?
Vote aye.
Commissioner Brown?
I agree.
Vote aye.
Commissioner Patrick?
Aye.
Commissioner Bradley?
Aye.
Okay. Commissioner Martin? is elected
Aye.
as the chair. I mean, as a vice chair. All right, now we need a motion on the table for the secretary. Nominate the secretary.
I motion to nominate Commissioner Brown.
I second.
Okay. Okay, there's a motion on the table to nominate Commissioner Brown as secretary. Do a roll call. Commissioner Martin,
Votes aye.
Commissioner Brown,
I agree.
Commissioner Patrick,
Aye.
Commissioner Bradley.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed to elect Commissioner Brown as secretary. Okay. You guys can move on to the business items on the agenda.
As I stated earlier, we kind of went over the responsibilities of the commissioners. So we'll move to the discussion or action regarding pending of hiring new firefighters and police officers. First, I wanted to, if I could, ask Cecilia, the first two candidates, what happened to them, or what is their standing?
Which one are we talking about? Are we dealing with the fire, or are we dealing with police?
Police. Off of that list.
Okay, Chief Wilson, let me see if I got the list. The first two candidates on the police list was already hired.
Oh, okay.
So this is why they're moving to the third. Am I correct, Chief Wilson?
Yes, we're on the third applicant.
Right.
The first one is current. Second one is no longer here. We're on the third candidate.
Okay, well, this candidate looks, I mean, he looks pretty good. The only question I had was, did he ever bring in his copy of his police officer certification?
I do not know the last commission. Before they were terminated, we didn't discuss any of that.
Okay, this candidate looks like a very good candidate, but I noticed that the only word that's legible after asking for a copy of the police officer certification, I see no, and whatever he has after that, I don't know if yours is legible. You can read it, Jacelia, but I can't read the rest of what's behind that no. So I was just interested in, did he bring in that certification, which is very important.
Well, Commissioner, I would have to check the file that he was given to answer that question. I won't be able to do that until tomorrow. So I'll make a note of that.
Yes, ma'am. Very well. And other than that, I mean, he's a really good looking candidate. So the candidate, did anyone else have any discussion on that particular person?
COPS testing is who vetted the candidates, and prepared the list for this. We're not in a position right now to hire any police officers because we don't have any way of getting them trained unless they are prior, have prior law enforcement experience, has prior certification. And where they are as far as how they tested, cops testing would have that information.
Okay. Well, this particular gentleman is he's already a police officer, so he would be a lateral from what I'm looking at. And so it'd just be the only point that I raised is that I just saw where he's it appears that he didn't bring in his certificate. So, but it does appear that he's a lateral. He's already working as a police officer. So the candidate after him, what's his position? Is he on hold or what's going on with him? The next candidate on the list.
William Schultz, the next candidate. I think this is just a list they prepare. And I just want to clarify something. And Chief Wilson, will you help me with this? The police department is requesting to move forward on the list to the next candidate. Is that what you're asking the commissioners to approve tonight?
Okay, the only way that I want them to move forward is if they are already certified. Other than that, then no to hire, because we can't put anybody on the street because we lost the positions. They were doing the academy last Sunday. So there's no need to hire anybody at this point unless they are pre-certified already. And then I would ask if we're doing any laterals, because we have not had good luck with laterals, that we do the background check on this person to see if we're, going to be putting in too much money for them. We'll also have them sign the updated agreement, the 3-year agreement that was prepared for that. So unless if this candidate is still available, still seeking employment, and they are prior law enforcement or prior, pre-certified, then yes, we would like to go with them. If not, we'd like to hold off.
Okay.
Okay, with that said, I don't know about the next candidate. If he's certified or is a current police officer or not, because we didn't get anything for him. That's why I was wondering what was going on with that person. We do back on the person after him. That's why I was wondering why we were skipping him, so to speak. So based on what the chief just said, the next candidate after the candidate I was asking about, he is not a police officer at the time. He's not certified. So that's the moot point with him then, as far as hiring him. And those were the two candidates in question.
Okay.
So again, the one candidate looks pretty good. It's just a matter of the question of his police officer's certificate. And then the next one after him, I don't have a clue, but the one after him that we have in question, he's not currently certified according to the records that I have. So that's a moot point with him. So I'll just be waiting to hear from you on the candidate as far as does he have that from someone? Is that police officer's certificate in our hands, or can he get it, or what's going on with that? And I agree with Chief about the background investigation. I mean, that's very important, and we need to get that done. if we're gonna look at hiring him, because he is a lateral. He would be a lateral.
Okay.
Anyone else have any discussion on this matter? Okay, if not, we'll move on to discussion of training for commissioners.
No, let's go back up because we need to deal with the fire.
Oh, okay, I didn't know we were doing any type of hiring over there. Nobody, I don't have anything on anyone over there, but what do you have?
Deputy Chief Richards, would you like to fill the commission in
Absolutely.
on what's going on?
Absolutely. I've been dying to do this. Thank you, commissioners, for giving me this opportunity to kind of explain to you. What I wanted to do is right off the bat is kind of give you the condition of our manning with the fire department and the situation that we're in, which is it's not the best. We are short 4 people at this time. We're experiencing some of the highest levels of overtime. We do have a current list. I do have applicant number 17 that is fully processed based on the approval from the prior commission. In our processing, we go through a poly, a psych, a background, and a medical. On this number 17, I believe it, just see, could you confirm it? Is he number 17? The next gentleman? I believe he is 17.
Yes.
Okay. The way we did it is he is sent for the poly, the psych, the background, the medical. All those results are sent directly to the deputy clerk. I do not, the chief or myself, we do not see any of the results. All we do is facilitate the process. So with that being said, it doesn't sound like the results have been given out to everyone, which is okay. What I would be requesting is that those results be given to you guys, and you guys can please consider hiring this gentleman, number 17. That would be the first order of business, because that would give me at least one guy in the door, and then I have to start filling the next 3 vacancies. With that being said, the second step I'd be asking for is to you guys to give me the permission to process the next 3 guys on our list. And what that would consist of is I would facilitate them signing them up for all the tests. The results would go directly to the deputy clerk unopened and then given to you guys for your review and then approval. Unfortunately, even if all the gentlemen that are left on this list did take it, I'd still be short 1 more person. So we can deal with that issue later, but I'd be looking for you guys to review the candidate that is processed and give me the permission to start the processing in the next 3.
Any discussion from anyone?
I would like to ask if any of the 3 candidates that's as far as firemen, is any of them African American?
No, sir. No, sir. The issue we run into that is an African American in the fire service right now. They have the ability to basically test anywhere, and they can get, they're very in high demand, and we have trouble getting them because they're all they can go to Aurora, Naperville, some of the bigger departments, and we're struggling with trying to recruit people, not only just African Americans, but just anyone in general. We're trying to recruit these people onto our department, but we're always getting knocked out by higher paying departments, larger departments. And it's a battle that it's not only just in our department, but all the smaller departments we're fighting. And it's a struggle. What my goal is for the next list that we are going to be hiring is we're going to try to get out there and solicit as many people as possible, try to hit the colleges, try to hit the recruiting centers, try to hit even the VAs, the VFWs, anywhere where we can try to get people in the door to take our test. But the reason why it's very difficult to find people is we require them to be certified firefighter paramedics to be hired. So these ladies and these gentlemen that are certified already, they can go and we're up against bigger departments. And it's just a battle that we've been fighting. It's not just in our department, it's just throughout the industry.
Okay, also, do any of the firemen live in our community?
No, no, we don't. We do not have any residency, and we do not have anyone from the community. The issue that makes things very difficult for us, Commissioner, and I understand your concerns, is if a candidate or an applicant spends approximately 2.5 years just to get the certifications to take our exam to be hired. So prior to them even being eligible to even apply for our exams, it's 2.5 years. So the pool in which we're pulling from is very, very small. You know, and unfortunately, we're not a big enough department to absorb someone with no certifications to come in the door. To train them, we just don't have the funding to spend 2.5 years of training them and getting them up to speed, you know, and paying them while they're really not useful to us because they aren't certified. And then once they do, they can go and test somewhere else and you know, and start out at a higher pay. And that's the problem we're running into. It's really what it comes down to. I've been working with the unions and negotiations to try to work with the village to increase our starting pay to draw the applicants, whether it's a minority applicant or just anyone in general. But the issue that we're experiencing in the fire service right now is people don't want to be firemen anymore. Orland Park used to get 300 to 400 applicants. Their last exam was down to 120. So with the requirements being so long as 1.5 years in medic school, you know, 8 weeks or 14 weeks in the fire academy, it's just harder for people to go and invest all this time. And a lot of departments aren't paying for it. They're doing it on their own. And then to go get 2 years of a degree and then start testing. So it could take you up to 3 to 4 years to get hired in the fire department based on just 2 years to get the eligible certifications and then 2 years of testing. Some guys get lucky, you know, they'll take their first exam and then they'll get it. But it's just, it's becoming harder and harder in the industry, not only to get the applicants, but to retain them. You know, perfect example, we start out at $56,000 a year, which is a very adequate starting salary. But I'm up against the department. I just lost a gentleman to Elk Grove Village. It's $72,000 a year to start. So when I'm up against numbers like that, it's just very difficult. You know, and it's an employee market. You know, they can shop around to these bigger departments, you know, and just straight out apply, and then they can, you know, they get it. You know, they're just, there's not enough people out there. The competition, when I was testing 18 years ago, I'd be up against 200, 300 people for 2 positions. Now you're up against 50 in the bigger departments for 10 positions. So it's just, it's such a strange dynamic that's going on in the fire service right now. And like I said, it's not just part-time, or it's not just full-time. They're seeing it in part-timers. They're seeing it in contract departments. The people and the demand is higher than the number of people that want to work. And if you got those certifications, man, you could go to Aurora and Naperville. I mean, they're starting out at $70,000, $75,000 a year. You know, so it's just, it's a very competitive market. We're trying to make our best, make it attractive, and then try and retain the people. It's just tough.
Those villages that you named, Elk Grove, Aurora, and Naperville, are those the higher paying departments in our region?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, and what are we, as far as average, you know, that we're paying our firefighters coming in, are we on average with the other departments, you know?
No, we're below average. We're probably right around every bit of about a 20% average, below average to starting. A lot of the departments are in the mid to upper 60s. Some of the bigger departments are in the lower 70s.
Okay, so Joliet or Mokina or Lincoln, you know, Lincoln Way or departments like that, what are they paying?
Like a department like Mokina, they'll start out in the upper 60s, $68,000, $69,000. They'll top out somewhere in the 90s to mid 90s as a fireman.
And what are we topping out at?
Just right around 79,000.
Okay.
So we're right around about a 20% below average. You know, on a good note, our department, our equipment has gotten better. Our facilities are better. Our manning is the highest it's been in the history of the department. Not a lot of that is based on call volume. So we are building the department up to become more attractive. It's just when you're chasing salaries, it's just really tough.
Right.
Perfect example, Park Forest, a firefighter in Park Forest tops out at $110,000 a year. Commissioners, that's more than I'm making.
Where do they start at?
I want to say it, and I will be honest, I'm not 100% positive. I want to say they're right around the $70,000 mark.
And how many years does it take them to get to the 100,000?
I was afraid you were going to ask that. It only takes them 5 years to top out that.
Okay.
Our top out is 10 years. So I'm working with the unions through negotiations to try to make ourselves a little bit more attractive, trying to get the guys in the door. I get every step I make forward, I get kicked back because I'll get 3 guys in here. I'll get good candidates. They'll be on the list with another, bunch of candidates. And next thing you know, other departments will start cleaning house and they'll start they just clean us out. Another big one is the city of Chicago. They'll take 300-400 candidates at a time. From the south suburbs. This is not just a University Park problem. It's a problem in the industry. There just isn't enough people to go around that are certified and qualified to meet the demand. They're just shopping. So, like I said, the 3 guys I just lost, one's going to Lockport. He starts out at 74,000. Elk Grove Village, same thing, right in the same ballpark. Another gentleman did go to Chicago Heights. That was not a big jump to start, but he wanted to go to a bigger department, something that was a little bit bigger, more stations and stuff like that. So a lot of guys leave for different reasons, and I'm seeing a lot of the guys coming in the fire service that are coming in are much younger, and that's the other thing that we're running into. These younger generation coming in the door, they don't want to work. They want to work their shifts. They're very respectful. They're very good at what they do. As far as working overtime, they're just not interested. They're just straight out. Hey, I'm good, chief. I'll help out a little bit, but I'm good. I don't really need that overtime. I was raised a little different, man. I worked as much overtime as I possibly could. Anytime I could work, I did. So we're seeing a strong change in the fire industry. As far as the type of person that we're recruiting, the type of the number of people. So I'm trying to understand it. I'm trying to adapt on top of being a little bit lower in pay. But if I can make the atmosphere a little bit more welcoming, the equipment's good. I can get someone to come in and invest some time like the rest of us and most of us on the department did, put 18 years in the department. So I'm trying my best here with what I have to work with.
Are we attending like any college job fairs?
So that was the thing. We did attend 2 college job fairs. We do go to Prairie State where the fire academy is. We try to solicit out of there. We also hit all the medic programs in the area. You have the English program, you have the St. Mary's. So we're trying to just draw anywhere where I know someone's coming out of medic school with a certification, someone that's coming out of the fire academy. And the nice thing about the way our requirements are set up is you can apply for this position, you can test, you can go through the whole process and still make the list and not have all your requirements. We just need them at time of hire. So that opens that pool up to some of the guys that are, just missing it by a couple months, or they're just getting close, of graduating. And yet, they can still take our exam and sit on that. And what we've done in the past is if we call them and they don't have it, we can leave them on the list and then go back around and call them again.
Okay. And are there any Latinx firefighters?
Pardon me?
Are there any Hispanic firefighters?
Yes, we have 4 Hispanic firefighters and 2 females.
Firefighters?
Yes, sir. And one of them is a lieutenant. One of the females, when our first lieutenant was promoted.
Okay. Okay. Does anybody else have anything? I guess we'll close that discussion for now, Jasilia.
So I want to go back because the commission has to take action on giving the fire department permission to go to the next, go through the hiring process of this candidate that they have ready.
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead.
I was going to just double back to Chief Wilson and ask the question about the hiring process with the police department. Are we going to revisit that, or would you like?
Like I say, if this candidate is pre-certified and still available for employment, then I'd like to go ahead and take that through the entire process. But
Okay.
if not, I'd like to hold off because we do not have any academy slots right now.
Okay.
So it makes no sense to hire them because I can't use them.
Okay. Okay. So would it be safe to say with the police department, can we just make sure, check to see if this candidate has the certifications to move forward before we bring it back to the commission to actually give an approval to move forward?
Are you asking me? Well,
I'm sorry, commissioners, I'm sorry I put that question on the floor for you guys to answer.
yes.
So,
Definitely like to see that police officer's certification and make sure that he does have that. And then we can move forward. He is working at this time, according to what I've seen so far, as a police officer. So, sometimes, I don't know, something might have happened, some negative fire or whatever, and he has to get it replaced or whatever. So, but we need to make sure that he has his certification, and then we can move forward with, background investigation and other things that we need.
okay, so what we'll do is we'll check on that certification and bring this back at the next meeting for the police department to see if we can move forward.
Okay.
As far as the motion that's on the table for the fire department, the next candidate is ready for hire. I need a motion on the floor to approve the hiring process, the hiring of this firefighter.
Just
This candidate.
can I make one comment regarding this motion specifically?
Yes.
Just the understanding is what I'm asking for them is a 1-year probationary period. And what that probationary period consists of is at a 6-month period, he's a review at that point of his status and how he's doing in the department. I would be giving that to the commissioners. There would be a 9-month review, and then there would be a 1-month or a 12-month recommendation at the end of his probation period for either termination or hiring. Once we give him the 1-year probationary, he can be fired and dismissed at any point for no reason. So it's truly a trial period of 1 year. So if we get to that 6-month period and things aren't working out, we do have the ability to move to the next, terminate that person, ask him to leave and move on to the next one. So we do have time to go vet these candidates in person while on the job.
Those check periods, is that standard? Is that what you usually do?
Yeah, that's something that the chief and I, when we took over recently with our first sets of hires, we wanted to try to do a 3-month cycle as we're going through to just check their statuses.
Yeah, the reason I ask is that I think, like you're saying, for the money and the time that we're investing in this person, to have a 4-month instead of a 6-month checking period, and if they're not working out, cut our losses.
That's correct. Yes, we can do a 3, 6, 9, and 12. And also if we can see that after month 1 or 2 that this is not working out, by all means, I would be approaching the commission and giving you guys a heads up on something like that. We take it very seriously. We're investing not only the money and the time, but this candidate, according to pension laws, will have to spend the next 25 years in this department. So we're very cautious, I need the people, but that is not an excuse not to really sit and make sure that this candidate's right for us.
Well, my thought is that I know the prior board. I don't know who was on it, and it's no slight to any of them or anything like that. They vetted this candidate and so forth, but we definitely would have to. This board would definitely have to look this candidate over. I mean, as quickly as we can. We're not just gonna. Myself, I don't know what the other commissioners think, but I wouldn't just blindly vote for somebody to become a firefighter, and I haven't seen anything.
Absolutely, and all of those test results and everything that he's gone through, I believe the deputy clerk does have those. So yes, I would be asking you guys review those. That would be terrific.
So if is there a motion on the floor for this?
No,
No.
he made the request and Jacilia brought it back to us to see if we would motion it to go forward. But I'm in agreement that once we see something, then I'm willing to make a motion, but I haven't saw anything.
I agree. Any other discussion? So that's pretty much, our feelings is that we need to at least look this candidate over for ourselves
Absolutely.
before we move forward.
Okay. No, absolutely. I would absolutely always expect that, please.
Mhm.
And I do know all the sealed results are, I believe, Jacilia, I believe you got everything.
I'm sorry, guys. I had muted myself. Yes, everything is available at the Village Hall. Yes,
Okay.
for this next candidate. So, commissioners, I do invite you to make an appointment. You guys can look over the information for this candidate that we're discussing. So you can have the information to make your decision.
Okay. I think that's the right route for us to go. Does everyone concur?
Yes.
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 Okay, very well.
And Jacilia, is it possible for me to request that I have permission to move forward with the next 3 for processing and get those results to you?
Commissioners, there's a request on the table.
I make a motion that he get permission to move forward with the next 3. This is Commissioner Martin.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion?
Yes, Commissioner Brown.
Okay. We'll do a roll call. Commissioner Martin,
Both sides.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Patrick,
Aye.
Commissioner Bradley.
Aye.
Okay. Motion approved. The fire department may move forward with the hiring process of the next 3 candidates. Okay.
Thank you, commissioners.
You're welcome.
Well,
So at this point, I think we can move to discussion of training for commissioners, Cecilia.
Yes. I just want to give a brief synopsis of upcoming fall seminar. The Illinois Fire and Police Commission Association will be hosting the fall seminar November 5th, 6th, and 7th. It will be located in Naperville, Illinois. I will at a later time give information to each commissioner. There will be a packet that needs to be filled out. We do encourage all new commissioners to go to these trainings. They're in modules, so you have to take the first module first. So I think they do the first one and probably the second one, but we'll go through how to fill out the application for the fall seminar. So I will forward information to each of you, hotel accommodations and different things like that. But block off your calendars for November 5th, 6th, and 7th. And that's a Friday, that's a weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I will forward that information to each commissioner. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
What date did you say again?
It's November 5th, 6th, and 7th. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay,
And I will get all of that information forwarded to the commissioners in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions, you guys can just shoot me an email and I'll respond.
Sounds good.
I have a comment to make. I'm just kind of curious. You know, I've listened to the gentleman talk about salaries and stuff like that as far as firemen, but I'm just somewhat concerned about how can we possibly get the best firemen for our area, for the people that we're supposed to be looking out for, if we're not somewhat paying like what the level of the average fire department is paying. You know, we all want the best for our community, and how can we assure that if our level of pay isn't up to standard as anyone else, to where you got our firemen and stuff leaving and going to other departments and stuff like that.
I'm sorry, I was muted. One thing I would like to do for all the commissioners is I can, and I've done this in the past, is put together kind of an idea of what currently all the area departments are paying, so we can get a true understanding of where we're at and where everyone else is. And then with that information, I think we can start a discussion on some definite ideas. One of my thoughts is once I get my staffing up to where it needs to be and I can work with the village for some funding, I would like to start a program where I can take candidates from the community and put them through the school and put them through all the education through our department. The two reasons why I'm not doing that right now is, one, I don't have the manpower to do that, and two, the funding is scarce. But if I can get the manpower up and I can work with the village to get the funding, I can take people from the community and I can put them through these. We can train them, we can do it in-house, and hopefully get a homegrown concept, and then they invest their time and want to stay. That's one small solution that I've been trying to get to, and I'm working it and I'm getting closer. It's just it's obviously a time and money issue. But I'd like to get that information to you to truly understand kind of where we're at, so you can see this is what Mokina's making, this is what, Dalton's making, this is what, all the area of Park Forest, Matson, Frankfurt, everyone that surrounds us in the south suburbs. You guys, it'll give the commissioners a good idea of where we're at. If you guys would like that, I think that would give you some real hard facts.
Yeah, absolutely. We would like that. And, please include in there the high and low end, along with the averages in
Excellent.
there, get a good snapshot of what's going on out there as far as pay. But I mean, this is, as you all well know, a big contractual issue as far as these dollars and cents. So it's good information to know, but a lot of it is out of our hands as far as the contractual part of these salaries and everything. But it is no. Now, on the other point that you were talking about, it sounds like you're talking about like some type of auxiliary firefighters or.
No, it's basically if you took a couple candidates from the community, we would sponsor them through an EMTB program. Then once they would complete that, we would sponsor them through a paramedic program, and then we could put them through a 14-week firefighter program. And at that point, they've gone through all the testing. We've sponsored them, or I'm sorry, all the certifications. We've sponsored them all the way through, and now they're eligible to take our exams. Now they're eligible to test for our positions that are open. A lot of the problems I'm seeing is people just don't have the money for the education. They don't have the time to take 2 years of their life and go through all the schooling, and then pay for it too. So if there's a way we can assist them and walk them through this process, we can produce a candidate that is now eligible to take our tests. And also at the same time, they are eligible to take tests other places. But if they start here and they're homegrown from inside, then maybe we can have a better chance of retaining them. But it's an investment. It truly is that you hope pays out at the end.
Okay.
That's just one solution of many, that I'm just trying to figure out. I will like to let the commissioners know in the last 2 contracts working with the union, they have focused more on working with the village as far as not taking higher pay increases, percentages per year in return for hiring firefighters to get the staffing up. So there has been and it's kind of quite a respectable for the union. It was more of a shock to me also, but they were willing to take less percentages per year in return for hiring the firefighters. So the assumption is we can get our staffing up to where it needs to be, and then we can start focusing on salaries, increase the salaries. But at the same token, you got to keep a medium on that because you don't want to fall too far behind. That's really not why we're behind the other departments, but it is a contributing factor. But right now we need the manpower just to survive. With the industrial park growing and stuff like that, the police is seeing kind of the increased demand for calls just like us. The industrial park is beginning to grow and take a toll on us. So that's just some other factors, but I'd like to get that information so you guys have a true picture of really what we're working with.
Okay, and so that training that you're speaking of would be all voluntary as far as their time.
That kind of program would be something I would have to work out with the village to see what available funds there are. But my goal would be at worst case scenario voluntary, at best case scenario some type of compensation. But to be honest with you guys, the commissioners, I just haven't gotten to that point to start to open that discussion with the village.
Okay, so you don't know of any grants or anything like that will cover that?
Unfortunately, not for entry level. No, a lot of the grants that are out there through FEMA and stuff like that, they're for for hiring existing qualified people, which we did receive that FEMA. It's called the SAFER grant. We did receive that 5 years ago, and we did put 3 additional people on with that funding. So we're very active with grants, but unfortunately, that's for existing certified people. Very hard to find grants or any type of revenue for entry level.
Okay.
But if you could give me till next meeting, I can try to get something together with you guys prior, and then I can get it to you through the deputy clerk. And at least then you guys all have all my information will be on there. You guys can contact me with any questions prior.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, any other discussion on that point? So we'll move on to the training. Cecilia?
Oh, we talked about the training. We talked about the fall training. There is no general public comments. I didn't receive any.
Okay,
The next meeting will be announced at a later date.
okay.
And I yield the floor to you because it's the next one, if no one has any other discussions, is up for adjournment. So I yield the floor to the commission for any
Okay.
last comments or anything.
Yeah, I just had a comment. I just want to remind everybody that they're supposed to be, the shirts are supposed to be over there to be picked up tomorrow. I don't know if you all heard. Everybody should have heard from Claudia, I believe. So those are supposed to be over there tomorrow after lunch, I believe, to be picked up. And I'll see everybody down at the conference, and hopefully everybody will have a good time. And you know, we'll get a lot of knowledge out of this and be able to bring some things back. But if anybody hears about it, as far as police or firefighters, grant one, please let's keep our ears close to the ground and bring that forward, you know, so we can move forward for the village. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioners.
What to say? It's nice to meet you too, Ed. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure was mine. Nice to meet all of you guys, and hopefully we can get some things done and move forward. And you know, some of the things that we discussed tonight, as well as some other things. So you guys feel free to call me anytime you have any questions or anything. Any other discussion or points anybody want to bring up? Okay. I move for adjournment.
Second.
Who was at the second?
Martin.
Martin, okay. Okay, and I will do a roll call for adjournment. Commissioner Martin,
Votes aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Patrick,
Aye.
Commissioner Bradley.
Aye.
Okay. Meeting adjourned.